Hey, everybody. Monday night, conquering the shift. How's everyone doing tonight? Tell you what, I have been on the road traveling like crazy, and I'm just glad to be back in my office. This is how like out of touch I feel like I've been for the last 7 days. Do you see my making sure on that? My money tree back here? My money tree died. That's not good. That is not good when your money tree dies because from lack of water. Oh my goodness. It has been insane. I've got one, two, three, four new constructions that closed this month. And I've been out all day running around trying to get everything pulled together and vendors met and final walkthroughs done. And oh my gosh, it has been absolutely crazy. And we're going to wait here for a couple more people to pop on. I popped on early. If you're in real estate, share this out. Share it out with a friend. If you're on our EXP teams, share it out with a fellow EXP agent. Just share it out, right? We're going to talk about the State of the Union. Got my Empire Builder shirt on. I was just on the phone with Elena Cardone and a minute ago. In fact, I should send her a screenshot of this. So great to see someone else with a money tree. Rick, my money tree has died. I think that that's an omen of some sort, right? I think that's not good. When the money tree dies, when you let the money tree die, what are you telling the universe? Go ahead and answer that, Rick. I don't know. I got home and I'm like, dang, I've kept this thing alive for a year. And just for the record, y'all, it's the only plant in my house that's alive. Not even my Christmas tree's living. Nope. I can't, I don't know. I don't pay attention enough to do it. So anyways, I digress. Monday night, Conquering the Shift with Lisa Copeland. This is my show where I talk to real estate agents and anybody else that wants to listen, right? About current state of affairs, current ideas, what's going on. How together we're going to, I loved this word that they used to use all the time before Twitter got uncanceled, for lack of a better word. Like as soon as everyone's allowed to talk on Twitter again, which I'm so happy about. Yeah. So anyways, but misinformation, didn't matter what you post about. A lot of times, the social media sites would come up with misinformation. I'm like, it's not misinformation, right? So there's a lot of misinformation in our business. There's a lot of misinformation, and we can thank the press for that. And I want to tell every real estate agent out there that I want you to be an expert. I want you to know your market. The New York Times does not know what's going on they don't know what's going on, period. But they don't know what's going on in Belton, Texas. Okay. They don't know what's going on in Round Rock, Texas. They don't know what's going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But boy, they like to talk about it. Greetings from Canada. Hi, Christine. And so I mean, how do we get rid of misinformation? Because we get canceled on social media. You put up something that Twitter or Facebook or Instagram doesn't like, and boy, they shadow ban you. They put up the misinformation posts. It's so crazy. But I will tell you, my boy Elon Musk is opening it back up, and I'm not just talking about bringing Trump back, okay? Which doesn't look like he's going to come back, but I'm talking about opening it up to everybody that was canceled, as long as they did not commit a crime or there was no abuses to children, right? Kim Kardashian, it's another one. I won't get started. Anyways, so that being said, we have got to help get rid of the misinformation that's out there. So I want to give you, so when we were down in Cabo, we went down to Cabo for 7 days to celebrate our anniversary. It was amazing. 7 days is a long time to be in Cabo, though. I'll tell you guys that. Cabo's expensive. A bottle of water is like $8. Just like I can buy water for a lot less money in America. Okay. And anyways, but James and I listened to this really great webinar. It was a mortgage webinar. He's probably the #1 mortgage guru out there. Barry Habib, I think it is. The mortgage people, you guys all know who he is. If you're in real estate, you've heard of him also. And hold on, and I am getting to my notes here. So we're literally sitting in, I'm going to give you like the visual here. We're sitting in a little restaurant in Cabo having our breakfast, and I was on my 9th cup of coffee, like I always am. And we were listening to this, and it was really a State of the Union for Q1 of 2023. Guys, It's getting better. Rates are coming down. Hold on. I need to find my notes. I'm so annoyed that, oh, here we go. Here we go. I need to find my notes. Here we go. And you know what? One of the things that I really love is that, and one of the things he said was, and I think this is so important, right? Because everyone's like, well, I don't want to buy a house right now. I don't want to sell a house right now because I'm waiting for the bottom. Okay, hear me out. Take notes, share this out, screenshot this, record this, okay? As rates come down, house price, they invert. This is so like, when rates go down, house prices go up, okay? So rates are kind of hovering. They're way below 7 now. So that's good. Maybe even a little bit under 6, which is not good, but it's good compared to what was going on. Okay. And house prices have come down. Now, are they crashing? No, we are absolutely not going to have a real estate crash. Why? Because we don't have a mortgage crisis. All right. More Americans have equity in their homes today than have ever had equity before. All right. There's a ton of equity out there, people. This market's not crashing. Now, people may decide not to move. They might go, well, I got a 3% interest rate, so I'm going to wait on moving. But I want to just tell you this, okay? Hear me out. It's a mistake, all right? I'm going to call the home, what we call the home in the industry, it's your asset, right? It's the asset. So if you can buy an asset for 10% less than you could have bought it for, let's say 7 months ago. So let's say it's a $600,000 house and now you can buy it for $540,000. Why? Not because the market's crashing, because the market is adjusting to the pre-COVID pricing. Why is that? Because during COVID, the demand outweighed the supply. And you say, well, why is that? Why is it different now? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Rates were stupid cheap. People were figuring out, oh God, I've got to stay home now. I may have to school my kids from home the rest of their lives. I'm going to be working from home now. I need a bigger house or I need something different. Okay. And why not? Because rates are low. But there were enough people that were afraid and fearful, rightfully so, to have people walking through their home that they didn't put their homes on the market. Okay. That was one piece of the problem. And probably the most important piece to this problem. Okay. That we had in 2020 and 2021 and a little bit into 2022 is that the builders had to quit building. And if they didn't quit building, they were put on allocation. So, you know, you go out to the big home builders, they're like, well, we're only gonna be able to build 2 houses in this neighborhood this month and this and that and release this many. And it's like, okay, so when you look at first-time home buyers, if I'm tracking here with anybody, like tell me right here in the notes. So you're typically, a lot of times your first-time home buyer will buy a new construction. Okay. So you literally took out 30%. And again, these numbers are kind of broad across the country, but you took 30% of the supply out of the market because the builders weren't building houses. So now all those people that were going to go build houses, and typically on the new construction, you were able to buy stuff a lot less expensive, you know. And I'm speaking for Texas, and I know it's the same all around. Thanks, John, for having my back, bro. I appreciate you. And so, you know, they're out buying Kaufman Broad, K&B, Lennar, you know, some of these homes that are less expensive. They're more starter homes, right? In these communities where they're building at mass quantities of homes. All right. And so they're able to, from an economy of scale, you know, they're able to build, you know, probably in this area, $300,000 in that $300,000 to $400,000 range. Okay. Which is a really important price range when you've got first-time home buyers or you've got people making $20, $30 an hour, right? They can't buy $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 homes. So these neighborhoods are very important to the housing market, you know, again, I'll speak to my area in Central Texas. They literally go in and they buy these farms, not ranches, farms. And you know what farmland is, right? Flat dirt. But they go in and they buy these farms and they do lots that are 0.125 acres, which is 1/8 of an acre, postage stamp. And they just put them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is great. Okay. It's great. I've sold a lot of those. It's helped a lot of people. You know, I think you ought to buy a tree house before you rent an apartment. Okay. I think you ought to go buy a tree house and live in the tree house and own it as long as you own the dirt under it that the tree is sitting on. I think you should do that versus renting. All right. But anyways, so all of that gets knocked out of the market. Okay. The builders are not building. Supply chain, COVID, they can't get workers. It was illegal in some states to even go out and build, right? So all of that gets pushed away. Buyer demand is festering because of these crazy low interest rates, and you guys know what I say about interest rates. You're one war, you're one pandemic, or you're one president away from having low interest rates. Believe me, that's just the case. I was in the mortgage business for many years, and I guess technically I still am in the mortgage business since, I'm the co-owner of Austin Mortgage Associates. So anyways, that being said, at any point in time, any of those things can happen. And rates, what does the Fed do? The Fed starts panicking. They start dropping the rates because, they want consumers to go out and spend money, and they get into this frenzy and I mean, it's just crazy. Okay. But guys, I've lived through it all. I've lived through the 08-09 crash. I've lived through 9/11. I lived through, I say lived through, worked in this industry through 9/11, of course, COVID. And it always happens the same way. Something happens, the country freezes, and down the rates just start. I mean, the Fed just starts going boom, 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 down, 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 down. Okay. So the second, I'm taking you back to 2020 now. The second that those rates started going down, all right, demand started going up. Supply was at an all-time low because the builders were not building. Remember, I mean, we lost 30 to 40, depending on where you live, 30 to 40% of the inventory stopped because the builders aren't building. Not only are they not building, they're not even accepting contracts. Okay. So now all of a sudden you've got this intense, this crazy, crazy pressure on the resale market. So like any good capitalist, right? These sellers start going, well, I've got 10 people that want to buy my house. Now, normally 6 of those people would have been out looking at new construction. And 2 more of those people, so that's 6, and then 2 more of those people would have been out looking at other houses in the neighborhood. But there were no other houses in the neighborhood because these people had their houses all fenced off. They didn't want anybody in them. So it was just this crazy juxtapose, this crazy perfect storm to make house prices do this. Okay. I personally took advantage of it. I won't lie to you. I let people in my house, and it went into multiple offers, and we sold it and did very well. And so it benefited for a short time a lot of people. Okay. But now reality's back. All right. So let me tell you the reality. The reality is that there is a lot of houses on the market. We have a great supply, not too many, but we have supply. The builders are playing catch up because now they can build again. So what are they doing? They're like double duty, boo, 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 because they have all these lots that they had taken down. They had commitments on. So they have to build like crazy to catch up for the 18 months that they couldn't build. So now all of a sudden you have what seems to be this like crazy amount of inventory on the market with interest rates that are higher than usual. Okay. Higher than usual. Yes. So what happens when all of that perfect storm happens? Prices come down. We're not crashing. We're not crashing. We are returning to pre-pandemic pricing. So what does that mean for you? And realtors, I see tons of you guys and gals from my team are on here. You guys are texting me. Thank you. I'm giving you your talk tracks. If you're a consumer out there right now and you just happen to just jump on me, God, I'm getting my hair done in a couple of days too. It's tragic. But if you just happen to like, oh, Lisa's on, let's see what she's talking about tonight. Just take this, share it at a cocktail party. Share what I'm saying to you at Christmas parties this year. Let's get rid of the misinformation that the dumbass press keeps putting out there. That's not even true. It's not even true. I go crazy every single day when I read the misinformation put out by the press. They're not in the real estate industry. Okay. They're not. All they are is alarmists. They got to keep that 24-hour news cycle going. They got to keep you scared. They got to keep you on the edge of your seat. They got to keep you worried. They've got to keep you glued to the television to see what's going to happen next because they've got 23 hours more news that they need to sell. So they got to keep you on the edge of your seat. I mean, people, really, seriously, wake up, please. I'm begging you. So interest rates, 6%. All right. But if you're able to purchase the asset is the house for 10% less, and 10% is probably a low number in my market. So, but if you're able to purchase it for 10% less, do the math. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and do math with you. I'm just begging you to do the math. By the time the rates drop, like let's just say that you can buy a house $60,000 less today, and you're not going to be in multiple offers, and you're not going to pay way over for it, and you're probably going to pay under for it. Right? There's some negotiations now available. So let's just say you save $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Let me tell you, you're going to come out ahead because these rates are coming back down. And that's where I started this today, is that James and I were in a coffee shop in Cabo watching this webinar by this guy, Barry Habib, and I'm going to mess up his name, but those of you in the industry, you know who he is. He is the mortgage guru. All the big companies use him. Like all the big mortgage companies listen to him. All the big real estate companies listen to him. Like his track record's like 90%, okay, of being right. So let me just tell you what Barry had to say. Look, y'all, I want you to know I took freaking notes. I am in Cabo drinking coffee, eating migas, and listening to this webinar because this is me. I'm always working for you guys, okay? So let's see. 2/3 of American wealth is in home equity. All right. So if you're not buying a house, these are talk tracks, my people, write them down. If you don't own a house, you are missing the only way to build generational wealth. So example of that, you're paying $2,000 a month in rent. You're paying $2,500 a month in rent, whatever that looks like. Okay, that interest rate is, you guys have heard me say this 1,000,000 times, 100%. You build no equity, you build no wealth, you have no tax shelter, and you're paying the other guy or gal's mortgage. Whoever owns that house or that apartment building, they're just saying thank you. They're not even saying thank you. They're going to raise your rent in a year. It's a strategy. It's a strategy I use. It's called forced appreciation. How do you force appreciation when you're a landlord? You raise the rent. The more you raise the rent, the higher the value of the property goes. Anyways, I digress. So 2/3 of American wealth is in home equity. Are you going to miss that? Are you going to miss your only chance for wealth when you can obtain an asset on sale now? Because I told you the 3 things that make rates come down. And you guys, you can argue with me all you want to, but it's the truth. A war, a pandemic, or a president. There's 3 things that cause rates to go up or down. It just is. And when any of those things change, these rates they're going to come down. I pray to God we do not have another pandemic or another upflare of this pandemic. But if we did, God forbid, these rates would start tumbling again. Okay. If tomorrow we go to war with China or Russia or whatever, these rates are going to start tumbling again. And I'll leave the president one up to your own imagination. Okay. So 2/3 of American wealth is home equity. The average appreciation around the country, it's much higher here in Texas, but around the country in the last 24 months is 4.75% compound. So is there a asset class that you have or that you own? Do you have a stock account? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a savings account? I already know the answer. This is a rhetorical question. Do you have anything you own that you can say today that 1 year from today will be worth 4.75% more? You don't. It's your real estate. Okay. This was probably my favorite statement from him. 2 of them. Number 1, right now buying a house. It's an expensive way to spend money because of cost of funds, right? Even if it's 6.5%, that's not that expensive, but I'm going to talk to you about what's going to happen next year. Expensive way to spend money, but it's an investment in the future. My agents out there, write this down. It may be an expensive way to spend money today, meaning cost of funds are higher, so your carrying costs are higher on the asset, but it's your investment in the future, and there's not another investment on planet Earth that has a guaranteed return of at least 4.75%. Doesn't exist. All right, and then this is really the one that I want my agents to write down. Seeing the future before it becomes obvious. Okay, think about that statement. Seeing the future before it becomes obvious. What does that mean? I'm telling you what the future is in 2023. All right. I want you to see it now. I want you to do your own research. I want you to see that the Fed, there's so many indicators that this inflation is, because everything's down. We might have come through the worst part of this inflation or part of this recession, but because of the massive bad news, and I had my whole list of all the things from, oil prices to unemployment, all of it, right? Down, 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 down. So that being said, there is some good potential economic news coming for 2023 Q1. And one of them is that the Fed may, who knows, may ease on this tightening. Okay. And raising these rates. If that happens, okay. And again, Fed rates do not control. The Fed prime rate does not control mortgage rates. It has a big influence on them. Okay. It influences the markets. Not to give you guys a total mortgage lesson tonight, but depending on what kind of response we want, the government might come in and buy mortgage-backed securities, or they might go in and sell mortgage-backed securities. I mean, guys, it is all a shell game in Washington, D.C. Okay, it's a shell game in Washington, D.C. But for a lot of reasons, we're probably going to see rates come down and hit somewhere in that 5% range in 2023. Okay, 5% is a great interest rate. Okay, it is a great interest rate, and you've got to sell that rate to your clients. You've got to make them understand that if you look at the difference between 4% and 5%, I mean, literally, I want you to figure the payments. I don't have it here. I should have been more prepared, but I'm not. But you figure the payments. Okay, let's just say it's a $250 payment difference. And I don't know if that's right or not. I'm probably pretty close. All right, you multiply that. How many months would it take to make up, so making that a little bit higher payment every month, to make up saving $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000 on the asset? It's a lot of months. There's going to be three new things. There's three things that will bring down interest rates. And by the time, and you will get nowhere close, because one of those three things will happen: president, pandemic, and or a war, some sort of conflict that's trouble, right? And you read the news right now, and we're not real friendly with China or with Russia, so who knows. Anyways, all that being said, that if you're able to, now it would really suck, and it would be bad if house prices were staying the same, right? That would put such pressure on the industry, and mortgage rates were up, like nothing was budging. And that's happened before. Okay, house prices are holding, mortgage rates are going up, like then you're at a stalemate. Like there really is not a good reason to buy right now. I would say wait this thing out. But think this through. If you can get the asset on sale, the house, the rate may not be on sale right now. Okay, it's not on sale. But here's the good news: the asset, the house price, is your house price forever. What you acquire that asset for is what you own that asset for forever. Own it meaning the price that you've acquired the asset for. Money is made not at sale typically, but at acquisition of any asset, of anything. Like, what did you pay for something, right? If you can buy something right, you'll always make money on it, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, whether it's a good designer purse. All right. So there's lots of ways, but you've got to get your mind around acquisition cost. The rate is not on sale right now. The rate was on sale in 2020 and on 2021 and a little bit into 2022. Okay. Oh, someone said, or boots. You must be talking about my boots. It just says Facebook user. I don't know what that says. So the money was on sale and everybody was great with it, going out and paying 50, 75, 100,000, 20,000 over list price, which was an inflated price to start typically. People were like, please, Lisa, get me that house for 100,000 over. And I felt the same way. I'm like, oh my God, because there might not be another one for 6 months and you need to move. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay. But now it's flipped, and we are better for the flip. We are better for the flip. You guys know I don't script any of these shows, right? I just keep going. So we are better for the flip. We are better because the asset is on sale. There is so much more negotiation now. And if you're a seller out there, I'm sorry. It is what it is. You know, we had a window. Will we get another window again? People ask me. I don't think so. I think we have enough inventory on the ground and the way that things are going and forecasts are going that, you know, we have a 2 or 3 year, not supply on the ground. That's not the right thing to say, but the builders are forecasted out. They own lots and land and all kinds of stuff. Because remember, they didn't build for 14 months, right? So now they've got takedowns on lands and lots and stuff. And so they've got forecasts to build and build and build, and at least in Texas, and they have the dirt to be able to do it. So we're not going to see what we saw again in 2020 and 2021, where there was no new construction, an incredible amount of pressure on the resale market, and you know, more buyers because the money was on sale than there were sellers. So you guys give me, oh, Angie Yates or boots, girl, you know about my boots. Yeah, so cute. Anyways, so you guys tell me you understand that makes sense to you, right? That makes sense, that money was on sale and people went crazy. And I kind of equate that to, in shopping world, since Angie wants to talk about my boots, in shopping world, to all of our credit cards go to 0% forever. It's 0%, it's free money, it's free money, it's free money. Go buy anything you want to. So you go out and you buy this gluttony of stuff because you're like, oh, I don't have to pay any interest on it. And now you owe like a stupid amount of money on your credit cards. But so you still owe the balance of the credit card. You're just not paying money to finance it. And so how I kind of see this thing is, houses are on sale, the assets on sale, that money's going to go on sale again. Pandemic, war, or president. One of the three, just put my name on it. So when that happens, right, then you are going to have already acquired the asset at a great price. And what Barry's talking about here, and then I'm gonna kind of wrap this up because I do tend to get on a roll about this stuff. Like I'm in my Empire Builder, Elena Cardone, right, sweatshirt. So remember what I said. So as rates go down, house prices go up. All right, they just do. But they won't go up as much as they did in 2020 unless building stops. Okay, unless the home builders get shut down again. But even if they got shut down tomorrow, they got a bunch of inventory. Okay, so we're not going to see that pressure on the resale market the way we saw it in 20 and 2021. But now you can get the house, you can get the asset on sale. You can save 25, 50, 75, 100, more than that. Guys, I have seen some crazy price drops, 200,000 out in Rough Hollow in Lakeway. I had a client that we got in on that probably 6 months ago, at the beginning of this whole thing. And I literally said to the builder, I was representing the client, of course. I said to the builder, what do the neighbors think about this? I bet they are 5 shades of mad. And he's like, yeah, it is what it is, but we got to move some of this inventory. Okay. So my clients bought a house that was listed at $1.1 million, like 3 months earlier. They got it for $900,000, $200,000. They got off that house. So now, was the house in the neighborhood overpriced before? Probably a little bit, maybe, I don't know. It didn't matter. You know, because with builders, the price is what it is. But it sure got our attention to bring my clients in there when they bought the asset for $200,000 less. And you think about it, they own their house $200,000 less than the guy next door. Literally the guy next door. How do you think that guy's sleeping at night? Not great. So I am giving you a peek into what I believe and what some of the gurus I follow believe is the future for 2023. And so I'm going to re-say this again. Seeing the future before it becomes obvious. I'm showing you guys and gals what I believe the future is. Now, I want you to see it before it becomes obvious. What is obvious? Rates start dropping, house prices start trickling back up. And then now I would personally rather be caught in, I mean, I've got clients that are like, I'm going to wait. I know there's going to be the perfect day that rates drop again to 3% and house prices stabilize. And I'm like, you don't get both. You don't get both. You either get to buy the asset on sale or you get the money on sale. I will take the asset on sale every day of the week. Every day of the week. And I don't want to get into this yet, but now that I've said it out loud, I will. So on these 2-1 buy downs, I'm not going to get into it yet. I have my husband verifying what this guy said about it. Because if it's the case, it's really, really a cool deal that nobody's talking about yet. But I'm not going to give misinformation. I'm not giving misinformation until I verify. And when I verify it, I'll come out with it next Monday night. So buy the asset on sale and pay a little bit more for the money. Now, I don't know that I'm qualified to talk about money today because my money tree's dead back here. Can you guys see that? I killed my money tree. What is up with that? It's the only living plant I have in my house. The only living plant, and I've killed it from lack of water. And it's a money tree. I don't know. Somebody tell me if you think I can revive that thing. I'm like, do I cut off all the leaves? And it's only because I'm a little bit superstitious. So God, I hate to kill the money tree. But anyways, all of you have a money tree out there. And again, you're tuning in now, Conquering the Shift, Empire Building. This is a training that I do. Water it. I know. I'm just like, now I think it's a lost cause. But this is, this is training that we do for our organization. We hope other realtors. I just had a new realtor join my organization a couple of days ago. She's awesome. I can't wait. Pam Goodwin, you guys met, big commercial broker up in Dallas. Super excited about that. And then I've got another really amazing agent. And she told me, she's like, I watched your Monday night shows. And so now she's part of our organization, which we'll announce her next week once she tells her broker. Anyways, but she watches the shows. And so let's see, did you kill it or was it just meant to thrive? It was just not meant to thrive. No, I killed it, Joanne. I didn't water it. Oh my God, I got to water it. I've been gone for a week and then I probably didn't water it 2 weeks before that, but I'm going to do it. When I get off this tonight, I'm getting up and I am watering my money tree. But again, share this out. If you're a realtor, and you want to work with a team. Oh, hey, Taylor. Oh my God. Like I'm telling you, I paid $3,000 a month. I have got to go back up and look at these comments. So Tyler's on here and he says, fear not, which was, of course, was my license plate back in the day. And then Tara says, I paid $3,000 a month for years in rent. I know. Rents are ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. And you know what, guys and gals, there are times you got to rent. I get it. But if there's any way at all that you can figure out how to purchase an asset, own the asset, maybe get a co-signer, maybe partner with somebody on it. I have a gal right now that she went to her parents and she's going to do an FHA loan. So that's 3.5% down. And we're going to get the seller to pay the closing costs. But she went to her parents and she said, if you'll loan me the money to invest in my house, I will pay you, right? She cut a deal. I will pay you half of the equity that I make someday when I sell it. She's like, cause so she needs what? I don't know, $20,000 or $30,000. She doesn't have it. But her dad, her dad and I talked and I told him, I said, hey, low point appreciation, national average is 4.75. She'll be in the house for 5 years. Here's the numbers, yada, yada, yada. So if all stays the same in the world, which I'm not even going to step myself into that one either. If in 5 years that it does what it has been doing, dad's going to make a handsome, about a $40,000 profit, not just, he'll get his investment back and he'll make a $40,000 profit. And people say, well, my husband was like, well, was that really nice of the dad to do that? Like, should he have just have given her the money? I'm like, no, she went and cut a business deal with her dad. Yeah, that was important to her, right? Because that's $40,000 in equity she's going to have also someday that she wouldn't have had if dad did not front her the money. So go make a deal with somebody, partner with somebody, get into business with somebody. Look at my dog down here, y'all. Can you see her in my mirror? Hold on. Bandita, look up. she's looking for food. She and my money tree are both looking for food. I'm starving my dog out and I'm killing my money tree. Oh my God. Okay, girl, I'm going to feed you. So anyways, the assets are on sale. Figure out how to buy them. Figure out how to, get involved in an investing pool. Get with your best friend. Get with 3 of your friends and say, hey, let's buy this house. Let's use it as an investment property, because today is the day that you can buy an asset. You can buy a house on sale. Who cares what the money costs? Pandemic, war, or president. One of those 3 things happen. These rates are going back down again. So you're better off buying it on sale. So I know I've said that 35 times, but God, I believe it to my very soul. I got to look back up at these things here so anybody else has cracked me up. Repot it, sunlight and water. Oh my God, Marta, you know me. Marta's on my team. Do you think I'd ever take that much? I mean, I'm just doing good to feed my dog, keep my dog alive. I am able to keep my dog alive. Oh, let's see. Dad needs her to do a 1031 exchange. She can't. She can't do a 1031, Rick, because it's not an investment property. It's a homestead. But anyways, and then they got to reinvest it in something that's just as much or more within 6 months. Anyways, I digress again. All right. The assets on sale. Don't worry about what the money costs. Buy the boots, buy the house, buy the car, right? It might cost you a little bit more, but in the future, yeah. But whatever that looks like, it's the greatest investment today that you can have. Like, I'm looking at stuff every single day now. I didn't used to look at houses every single day. I'd look at houses for my clients, but I wasn't like, what can I buy? What can I buy? What can I buy? Or what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I told you guys and gals about my speaking tour next year with Capital Title. So excited about it. We're bringing on one more big sponsor that we have a meeting with on Wednesday, just to firm them up. And but part of my speaking series is the WOW Network, Women of Worth, Net Worth, but Women of Worth, Net Worth. And it's going to be, really bringing back what my passion is to help women build generational wealth. I want to help the guys too, don't get me wrong. But there's going to be the biggest transference of wealth in the next 5 years, trillions and trillions of dollars for multiple reasons. And women need to know what to do with it. And the best place, y'all, you can put your money, it's not in a money tree. And you probably don't want to give it to me because I'll probably kill it. But the best place to put your money, bar none, is real estate. So figure out how to make it happen. My good friend Grant Cardone told me, he said, hey, you go find big deals for me. Don't worry about the money. You'll always have the money. Go find the deal. Okay. So know that if you can find a deal, you can probably find the money too. And if you guys need any ideas on that, let me know. I'm very creative on that. That's really how I built my mortgage career, was just figuring out how to help everybody find the money. I brought in some insane, not subprime. I've never done subprime. I don't really believe in it. But when I was doing one-time closes in construction lending, I went out to a big bank called SunTrust Bank, and I put together a very, very niche deal for my clients for a custom home builder that I was representing here in Austin. It was millions and millions of dollars worth of stuff. And they literally said to me, they said, we never thought about doing it like that. And what I had them do was, I had a bunch of Dellionaires and pledge stock now for the equity so they could build with the stock versus actual having to cash out the stock. Anyways, it was just very off. It was very outside the box. And I really literally dreamed it up one night, and I went to them, I flew and I met them, and they agreed with me. And I did, I don't know, God, probably 100 million with those loans with SunTrust Bank. So right where there's a will, there's a way, I promise you. So if you're just jumping in now and you're thinking, oh, my kids will never be able to buy a house because rates are 6%. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. There's 2-1 buy downs now. There's a 3-1 buy down now. A 3-1 buy down takes the rate down to 3%. Not even going to go there tonight, but I'm just telling you, where there's a will, there's a way. Figure it out. This is like a Barney's sale on real estate. It's not a fire sale. We're not in a crash. We're not in a bust. Know that. But now is the time that you can acquire properties that you could not acquire 2 years ago. You couldn't. You just couldn't. So anyways, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and following me. I really appreciate you guys and gals. I love being out here. Thanks for understanding I was not here last week. I was on a beach in Cabo, okay? Was it last week or was it the week before? Got a lot of new teammates that we're welcoming in. Very exciting. And times are good, right? Times are what you make of them. So, I mean, I could be a Debbie Downer and say, oh, I'm not selling 12 houses a month like I was. Well, it was a lot and it was exhausting, right? And so now I feel like business is like very manageable and controllable again. We're working hard for our sellers to make sure that that everything is right on the house so that it does bring the most amount of money. And we're working with buyers to go out there and try to find the deals. Try to find the deals. And and that's the nature of the beast. But life is what you make of it. And if you're always like, I'm worried, I'm fearful, I'm this, then you will be. You will be. You will absolutely be. You will live in that fear. It will live in your body. But if you go out and you say, you know what, it is what it is. I'm gonna make the best I can of it, and I'm gonna see the other side to it. Whereas, and the other side is the assets on sale. Plus, I gave you some information tonight that is going to put you ahead of the game and ahead of the curve as these rates start going down. Q1, right? Q1. And again, where there's a will, there's a way. You can always buy down rates. You can do a 2-1 buy down. You can do a 3-1 buy down. You can have the seller pay for it. I mean, you can have a 3% interest rate for a year if you want it. You can. You just do 3-1 buy down. I'm just telling you, call me. Call me. After 5 years of this, whether it was, when I was running the mortgage company, I was doing mortgages, when I was in the car business and, doing all the subvented rates, now this, like I can always figure out a way to buy something. I promise you. Just like Angie says, the boots, I bought the boots. So anyways, I hope y'all have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. And if you want to join us, if you want to be on our team, if you want to make big stuff happen, if you want to know more about Women of Worth network that I've put together, the speaking tour, and and get involved with that. If you're in real estate, let me know. And I will see y'all next week. And thanks, Tara, for that. Oh, and as always, thank you for great info. Yes, Celeste, remember, the houses are on sale. The assets on sale. Buy, 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 buy. This is like a Barney's sale when it comes to stuff. Money costs you a little bit more, but it's only temporary. Bye, everybody.